Alright, this is from what I showed you from casting on, knitting, and purling. Now I'm going to show you how to add and decrease stitches. How to add stitches, it's relatively simple. It's a little tricky at first when you start it and can get a little confusing if you're not taught right. Basically, you take your first stitch and you knit it like you normally would, only once you pull the loop through like this, you don't pull it off this needle. You go over to where you're underneath it again and you push down into this part of your stitch. If it wants to cooperate with me. And then knit it again like you would a normal stitch, and then you pull it off. I'll show you that again at the end of the row because I don't like doing that like with every stitch because then it just doubles it and makes it look like a ginormous mess. So when I get to the end of the row, I'll show you how to do it again. Yeah, the only thing I don't like about knitting after you purl is that the yarn is underneath where it would normally be on top. Once you get to knitting and purling, you'll know what I mean. It's just a little harder and it takes more time. And it's a big pain in the butt if you don't make him loose enough, which I didn't. Of course, silly me. Yeah, and the good thing about increasing stitches is you only need one stitch to do it versus decreasing stitches, you need to take 2 stitches. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. And see how you normally would take it, push through like you would knit, actually pull it through, don't pull it off this needle. Swing it around and push it underneath this stitch right here through the loop and then knit again. And you'll have 2 more stitches. So instead of having 10, you'll have 12. Not bad. Now, as far as decreasing stitches goes, I'll show you after this row because it'll be easier. Because if I just do it right after I add on, it's going to look like a mess and it's going to be harder to do. And it would have been pointless for me to even just knit these real quick. Sorry they're not quicker. Okay, now I knitted the 12 stitches. You can already see a difference when you pull down. You can see the difference. After a couple rows, you really see the difference. But, okay, now decreasing stitches is, again, it's simple, but you have to be taught the right way. You just take, instead of working with 1 stitch at a time, you take 2 stitches and then you knit it like you normally would just using 1 stitch. Pull through and you just knitted 2 together, which is normally known as KTOG, which is, or no, K2 TOG, which is knit together. And then finish off the row with a couple knits. Like, you can keep doing that. It's not wrong to keep decreasing it. It's just, I don't recommend it unless you're working on something really wacky and wild. But, yeah, it's... And then again, you have your 2 stitches. Same as working with 1 stitch. You just take your 2 stitches and then knit them like you normally would a regular stitch. And you have decreased it. So we just made some weird looking yarn here. I don't know what you guys think, but and then finish off the row so you can really see the difference. My yarn's being a butthole. Doesn't want to cooperate with me. Probably help that I have more yarn to work with, huh? Ah, just doing the work for me. Hee. Alright. and knit those. Sorry, this is an extra long video. And you can see the difference where it had the extra stitches and now where you have, well, you can kind of see it, decreased stitches. Now you should hopefully know how to add on a stitch and decrease 2 stitches. I'll show you more in my next video. Okay, bye YouTubers!